Meow. Oh god, I gotta get Discord open. What's going on here? Oh, I forgot to get Discord open. Oh my god, I forgot to get. Oh, there's another song's gonna play. During the breakdown part. Have you ever seen a light bucket? Wiggly doo. Oh, hit the button. Oh my god. We don't want this song. No. Okay. Sorry, guys. What's up, everybody? It's Monday. What day is today? Monday the something? Monday the something. I think our chat's broken. Is chat broken? Hello. Mic check. Mic check 5. Refresh the chat. There we go. Oh, it makes it all gray. And then chat comes back? No? Ah, there it is. Chat has returned. Okay. But is chat working up here? Let's give a look-see. Hello? Okay, it's working over here. Okay, so no one just had nobody has anything to say. Okay. What's up, everybody? It's Monday, the 14th of November. It's the 14th of November, and you know what that means. We're halfway through. We're halfway through November. We're getting there. We're halfway there. Whoa. Living on a prayer. Okay, everyone, hit the like button. We got to do it because my neck itches right here. I'm going to be itching it all day today. I don't know what's going on, but my neck itches. I literally have an itch right here on my neck, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to itch it until it turns red, probably. Anyhow, the like button. It's very important. Oh my gosh, the like button. It's so crazy. We love it. It's our favorite. We're just entranced by it. YouTube will remind us to hit the like button because we have to do it. I don't know why. Algorithmically speaking, who cares, right? But we have to do it. It's just a thing. Shout out to everybody on Replay Team 6. Mikey Fishy reminded me in the chat here that if you're on Replay Team 6, leave a comment. Leave a comment and let us know if you're in Replay Team 6. I don't respond to all comments, but I do read them, just so you know. I read and delete if need be. But I try to respond to all the comments. But if you're on Replay Team 6, leave a comment, dude. We need to do it. We need that. We need that in our vibes. Oh, that reminds me. I got to delete this. I have a bit of a post here I got to delete. Delete. Okay. Wait, did I delete it? Let's see. Oh, this page is broken. Okay, I guess I did delete it. Okay, there we go. I forgot I got to go through and delete things from posts. Where's Patreon? Okay, if you've never been over to Patreon, you could support the channel there if you want. This is the, here you go. Patreon is here. You can go to Patreon if you want. I'm sorry, I remembered I have to delete these. I have to delete these posts. Let's delete these posts. There we go. Delete that from Patreon. Is it Patron or Patreon? It's Patreon, right? Okay, there we go. Okay, back to chat. Today is November 14th, 2022. Okay. Since nobody's chatting and no one's saying anything, we'll jump into all the topics I want to talk about then. That's what we'll be doing then. If nobody, this is kind of a chat-based show, so if nobody wants to jump into the chat, then I'll just talk about stuff. Phone lines are open over on Discord if you want to come in and yell at me or ask me questions with your voice hole. You can do that too. So the phone lines are open. Today's November 14th. That means we're 1 week out from the primaries. That's kind of the first thing I wanted to talk about today. The primaries are still, or the primaries, the midterms. Midterms! Not the primaries. Midterm elections. And we're starting to get some of the numbers. Oh my God. Where's my hide user on this channel? Ban hammer. Remove. Okay. I got to do my own freaking moderation. Report. I have to report that this was unwanted pornographic messaging. There we go. Deleted. Okay. The midterm elections, from what I could tell, they went softly well, is my opinion. I know there's some people out there that think the sky is burning. There's some people out there that think that we won a giant award, and I really feel like it was very middling. The result, personally, it's good to see that like some people came out and voted, but here we are once again with these like terrible turnout volume. My thing is that like I just want to see everybody go vote. That's all I want to see. I want to see what it looks like when everybody goes to vote, right? When everybody goes to vote. That's what I want to see. I don't really like personally my life doesn't hinge on the balance of like who gets elected or not, right? Like if we're being brutally honest, I'll just be going through my day to day. I will continue doing what I can and can't do and just keep moving forward one way or another. Obviously, like my ideology, I would like to see represented more so than not, right? Because I feel like my own opinion is pretty strong, right? I think most people feel that way. But I think like the big deficit that we have in the states these days is just a lack of turnout to go vote. That's my big issue. That's the big issue that I've been sort of focusing on for a long time now, of going like, well, how can we even just get people to go vote? That's it, right? And we would actually have like a pretty good idea of what it is that people wanted if everybody did go vote. I'm glad to see some of the candidates that I endorsed won their elections, so I'm happy to see that. That is good, in my opinion. I'm like, hey, those are the people I endorsed. They wanted to do the stuff around the area where I live, right? Glad to see them. And I'm also glad to see the guy who was endorsed by the, basically like, you know, how do you put it? I mean, how do you put it at the beginning of your stream? But he was endorsed by white supremacist type folks strongly. Did not get elected in my state. So I'm glad to see that. Yeah. So I'm glad to see those things going. I'm glad to see that our governor our senator, Patty Murray, will probably be doing another 6 years, although I personally believe that she's at retirement age. The candidate that ran against her was just not even remotely electable, in my opinion. So I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see TV personalities not get elected. Like, I was glad to see that Dr. Oz, that guy who's literally hasn't he already, like, Dr. Oz fraud? Wasn't he already in trouble for fraud? Didn't he already get found guilty for fraud and whatnot? Either way, I'm glad to see a TV personality guy with the very questionable background did not get elected to the Senate. I'm glad that happened. It's very unfortunate. You guys know that I'm no fan of Rand Paul. That guy got reelected, which is, I'm not a fan of that. But as we move along, we'll see what happens over the next 2 years and the next 10 years and the next 40 years as things happen. But yeah, as we move along, we'll see what happens. Checking in with the chat. Paula Kreinberg says, I feel a great relief after the midterms. Red tides are toxic. Red tides are actually like technically qualified as toxic. Yes, so I would agree with that for sure. Alyssa is almost home, so close. Joel G says Jell-O. I'm not a big fan of Jell-O. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I know. Controversy. The controversial takes of not really enjoying Jell-O. Although I would probably choose Jell-O over some other terrifyingly disgusting things, right? Paula says, I wrote so many postcards to voters. That's great. Like, I love to see people being involved and doing things like that. That's, like I said, my big concern isn't that, like, my agenda gets pushed. My concern is I want to see more people vote. That's where I'm, like, kind of focusing my attention of just going, like, look, the voting is the important part. We need to get that figured out. We need to get it figured out so that everybody can vote. That's where I'm like, you know, even in Washington State where we have a pretty high turnout. What was our Washington State turnout percentage? Let's see. I was reading that it was like 40%. 32% of registered voters. Sorry, it's even worse than what I thought. I was about 1.5 million ballots were returned, which is about 32% of registered voters in Washington State. In Washington State, people are pretty motivated to vote. It's pretty, you know, and we still only got 32% of registered voters. It's coming for half or more of the ballots to come in during the final couple days of. So, let's see. Secretary of State Steve Hobbs' office is predicting turnout will reach the 72% it hit in 2018, while acknowledging the pace so far has been much slower. Let's see. Yeah, so here's a good example. Statewide, more than 57% of voters 65 and older have returned ballots, compared with just 11% of those aged 18 to 24. It's weird to think that, like, only 1 out of 10 people, I guess you qualify them as young people, are voting, which is, it's just wild. But also, you know, like, I remember I wasn't super motivated for midterms and stuff like that when I was 18, right? Like, I was pretty just wrapped up in my own nonsense at the time. So I mean, I kind of speak from experience of, like, being a young guy and, like, being like, whatever, dude, I don't want to vote. It doesn't change nothing or whatever. But I'm just hoping that this midterm will kind of show people that, like, there are giant elections that have only, like, a 300 vote like a 300 vote difference, which probably means they're going to go to a recount, which means that they might be a smaller margin, might even be a bigger margin. Who knows? But still, if you're talking about only 300 votes, you could be one. You could be one of those. Freshwater Ichthyology says, is there a higher number of people voting for president versus midterms? If so, maybe people don't see midterms of as much value. So, yes, typically, depending on the candidates running for president, like you normally see a bigger turnout. Sure, yes, but it's not like that's a big turnout anyhow, right? So I think this last presidential election was the highest turnout in the United States history. Like, I mean, I'm sure you've heard about it on the news. It's like Biden got the most votes ever, right? But that was still only like 60% or something. Like, total of so like the 2020 presidential election, like we have a good idea of like who did that now. Like the midterms are still counting stuff, right? So like maybe those numbers aren't 100% accurate. Maybe they'll go up as they count more and more. But we have a good idea from 2020. So the 2020 presidential election had the highest voter turnout of the 21st century, which admittedly isn't that long, but with 66.8 of citizens 18 years and older voting in the election, right? Which I've pointed out to people is like, if you split that down the middle, it's 33.4, right? Obviously, third-party candidate stuff, right, occupies some small percentage of that. But if there was one other candidate that all of the other voters had voted for, we would have had like a three-way go figure it out, right? Like the third candidate could have won if all those other people voted for the third candidate that didn't vote, right? So that's my big thing. That's my big point, is that like 2020 was a big deal, like, oh my God, and it was only 66.8%, which is like a failing grade as far as I know. I mean, it's a D, right, out of 100. Yeah, because you'd be in the 60s, so that's a D. When I went to high school, a D was a fail. They would just fail you. They were like, D's not even good enough. Get out of here, right? So I consider D's to be a failure. You don't get to pass. I don't think that's how that works, right? Oh my God, did we get a new member? Oh, Rebecca's here gifting. Oh my God, Rebecca's like the #1 gifting captain. I got to total this up. But we did lose some members over the weekend. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, guys, we lost some members. I admittedly have been saying "oh my gosh" lately because I have a daughter. But we're down under 100 now, so we have to keep that in mind first and foremost. We got to erase all these numbers and go. Oh, do we go backwards? 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94. We're at 94. Rebecca brings us back up to 95, right? So that's where we're at now. Patreon has stayed the same for a long time, and we don't need to update that because it stayed the same, dude. So there we go. Rebecca, thank you very much for the gifted memberships. Like I said before, the gifted memberships are like the resurrection of my channel, realistically. Basically, the members and the patrons are like the people that have kept me in the YouTube space, right? Realistically. Obviously, I like making content. Obviously, I like doing content creation. I like making videos. I like taking pictures. I love doing all this stuff. It's all the things I like to do. It's kind of difficult to wrap my head around trying to have time to do it and be able to pay my bills. I never got to the point that a lot of people I know that have decided to become like full-time content creators. Like I never got to a point where I was like, wow, I could really just pay all my bills with this, right? So it's been more and more difficult to like try and like live in the YouTube space. Like that just I never was at that point where I was like, wow, I really check me out. Like, I'm paying all my bills. I'm doing all the thing. You know what? I'm going to devote my 40 hours a week, my 50 hours a week, my 60 hours a week to this. And I think a good example of that, and I just downloaded this, but one of the channels that I have a very minimal it's one of the channels I support, and it's one of them that I sort of am a minor assistant in like some of the production and whatnot, like just helping out with certain things like research and whatnot. And they posted this the other day as their grand total of the current project that they worked on for YouTube, and it just gives you an hour breakdown. So they wrote 31,217 word script, which ended up producing 3 hours of content, totaling across 5 videos, right? A total of 517 hours and 33 minutes. So research was 161 hours. Watch parties was 25 hours, 46 minutes. Writing was 112 hours, which is basically 3 weeks, right? Filming was 42 hours, which is a whole week. Editing was 161 hours, which is 4 weeks, a month of a full-time job. And then post-production was another 8 hour and 27 minutes, right? So it just sort of is like an actual breakdown of somebody who meticulously tracks their hours day to day, right? And how much it takes for them to create YouTube videos, right? Obviously, as channels grow and stuff like that, you can outsource some of this work so that you could shorten the time period in which to accomplish all of these tasks. But it's a perfect breakdown in my mind of going like, yeah, it realistically took 517 hours to get all of this stuff done, right? And so, you know, like when you try to explain that to people, it's like if you're working 40, 50 hours a week and you got to drive to work and come home and get ready for work and do all that stuff, this doesn't leave a lot of time for other things to get done. And I've mentioned it before, that Vicky and I are adults, and if I go like, hey, I gotta work, she understands it, right? Like if I say, hey, I gotta work, she goes like, oh, okay, how long do you have to work for? Oh, you got to do this thing, you got to go over there, you got to be clicking away at the computer for a while, blah, 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 whatever. If I talk to her about that, she understands. If I talk to my daughter about that, she just turned 4. This last weekend, we had her 4-year-old birthday party. She doesn't understand. Like she gets when people say I have to go to work. Like she gets it, right? Like she gets that that I have to go to work. Like she gets that somebody's saying that, right? But she doesn't understand like why dad would have to go to like do this thing. And I think that's illustrated throughout history where like grown adults now think back to when their parents were gone or whatever, and they're like, yeah, I don't know, they were just gone all the time, right? Like it just they don't even know at their own age like what's going on. Elephant in the room though, the fish tank barn gifted 5 memberships. Oh my god. Thank you very much. Dude, thank you. The Fish Tank Barn, as you guys know, he's creating content about fish tanks in a barn. It's like it's in the name. I like how it's in the name. Mike's a rad dude. I can't wait to get back out there and hang out with Mike sometime too. I know Steven Skoglund is in the chat. Both those guys have been supporting this channel for like a really long time, and I really appreciate it. And I almost like take that kind of stuff to heart in the way of going like, people have like literally been around like supporting me for a long time, so I should probably just like keep grinding as much as I can without harming myself or my family, right? But speaking of my family, we had that 4-year-old anniversary. What is it? 4-year-old birthday party. And I got to admit, I got to admit that like there was some strong disappointment this last weekend of some people not showing up to Olivia's birthday party. I will say, her grandparents showed up. My sister, her aunt, showed up, which was cool. My sister doesn't have a lot of time to be showing up to stuff like that. It's a bit of effort for her, so really cool on that. Her other aunt showed up and the kids and stuff, and that was cool. And you know what's weird is like all my extended family that said that they were going to show up just decided not to, like the day before, which is kind of a bummer. And I don't know if actually I do know that people out there have encountered this before. I was about to say I don't know if anybody else has encountered this before. Of course you have. You know what I mean? Like of course everybody has encountered this kind of stuff. People be flaky these days, dude. Like, you know, people just like don't show up to stuff, and I don't know why. And I'm not upset by it. Like, you know, I'm not mad, right? It's just kind of a bummer, right? It's just kind of a bummer that people like say they're going to show up to a thing and then they don't show up. Olivia doesn't know, you know, like she's too young to know that people didn't show up. Some of her friends from school showed up. The kids ran around. They went crazy. They ate pizza, blah, blah, blah. That was all fine. She'll never know, but it starts to make me wonder. Honestly, it starts to make me wonder of like, what do you do? What do you do with that once you get older, right? Or not once you get older, once your kid gets older, right? Because Olivia doesn't know now that none of her cousins showed up or any of that kind of stuff, right? Like, they don't know. She doesn't know. She doesn't even know that they were going to come, right? And part of that is because, like, Vicky and I are smart enough to, like, not say who is coming, right? Like, we kind of know ahead of time to be like, don't promise something to our daughter because like that might not work out, and then I'm on the hook to explain it, right? And I don't want to be on the hook to explain other people's behavior. That is not something I enjoy doing in this world, right? Like that's not something I'm a big fan of. Is like, hold on, let me explain some other people being not doing the thing that they said they were going to do, right? Like it's not something I enjoy spending my time on. But the real concern for me is that I start thinking like, well, what am I going to do when she's 9 and she knows that like, oh, this person was going to come, but then they don't, right? I'm just wondering, like, if you just continue to like leave it, like I almost think that's why surprise parties are so good, right? Because if you have a surprise party for somebody and there's like 10 or 15 people that showed up for it, and you go like, oh, surprise! Like, the birthday person would never know that the guest list was 30 people long, right? And that 15 didn't show up. All they would know is that 15 people showed up and then surprised them wherever they went. Yeah. Tanya Brandt says, apparently you have to turn on the ability to accept a gift. Who knew? Yes, you have to turn that on. That is something you have to do on your YouTube channel yourself, is that you have to enable like that you can be gifted a membership or not. Yeah, you have to have that turned on. But yeah, Tanya was gifted a membership by Rebecca. So, oh my God, we're back up to 101. Guys, we shot back up like out of a cannon, back up to 101. Is our goal 200 now? There's probably a baller in the chat that can gift us, somebody that's like super rich can gift us 100 memberships, right? There's probably somebody. I mean, everybody that watches this show is like at least a multimillionaire, right? Yeah. Fish Tank Barn, who has some kids that are older than mine. He probably has some good advice. He also has a dad van. He has a sweet dad van. Man, and I have to admit, I was perusing some dad van stuff the other day, right? I was like, huh, Look at this cargo. Look at this cargo capacity. Although Vicky only wants a van that has the fully flat lay down seats, which I think only comes in like one type of dad van or mom van. Soccer mom van, you know? Could be good. Mike says, I have found that the circle gets smaller the older they get. My daughters are 15 and 12, and birthdays were with just friends and dinner with grandparents. Oh, okay. I could see, like, the last couple years were probably pretty rough for, like, inviting people over or whatever, right? Like, obviously, there's a pandemic going on and a lot of stuff like that was happening, so I'm sure people were keeping it cool. I don't know what's the word. I don't even know if there is a word. But we were keeping it chill, right? Because of that. I'm just wondering if that's how it works for everybody, right? And also, I also wonder, like, how much money realistically do people spend on their kids as they get older, right? You know, like, I don't know if I'm going to throw a big party for Olivia when she's 16. It's going to be like, hey, you're 16. Here's your presents. Let's have some cake. Let's have some dinner. And we got other stuff we got to go do, right? Is that, I don't know. Maybe that's how it is. Oh, my God. Aubrey has gifted 5 more memberships. Oh, my God. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to the 200 goal, guys. 106. We're at 106 members. Whew. We're about to pass Patreon. We're going to pass the Patreon people. We're going to pass them. Dad van cargo capacity rocks. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, it might not be as important if you live in California to have a dad van, right? But when you live up north here by the Canadian border, it's going to be raining, it's going to be snowing, it's going to be cold. Like this morning, it was 24 degrees out, 22 degrees out, right? There's frost all over everything. Everything was frozen. And it might be good to have a van-type vehicle because then you can put all that cargo in there and drive it around. Yeah, without getting rain and snow and sleet and fog all over it. Who was gifted a membership? Oh, Bentley Pasco was gifted a membership. Outbout Jackson K. It's kind of one of the funny things is like if somebody was gifted a membership and they were a member before, it shows them as they re-signed up as a member, which actually is like one of the funniest things. Like, oh, you were a member not before, but now you are. Yeah, that's right, Matt. You have a gifted sub now. I thought you deleted your. I thought you weren't a patron anymore. I thought you gave up on being a patron. But Matt runs our Minecraft server, which I haven't been able to sign on to Minecraft because I can't figure out my Minecraft login. I don't know. I made it something insane, and its recovery mode has been less than admirable in the last little while here, so I haven't been able to re-log. Welcome to dual citizenship. Ooh, Paula had a catering van? Yeah, I mean, I worked for a catering company that had like a bunch of catering vans, and believe it or not, we may or may not have used those occasionally to move things around for, you know, like the workers and whatnot. Although the owner was cool with it if you let her know what was going on. She was fine with like, hey, can I borrow the van to move this wood around? Or a fish tank, for instance. I did move a couple fish tanks with the catering van. It does seem to be a part of life. I think it's life understanding that not everyone is worth inviting or having as much hope in turning up. Yeah, I think that's the case, but like, oh, Matt's good till March 2023. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. Ow, my leg. Yeah. Okay. My leg got stuck down there. Have you ever been underneath my desk? underneath my desk, legs get stuck down there, bro. So don't be careful. Don't go down there. Their legs will get stuck down there, and it's scary. I don't know, and dark. I haven't accumulated any giant spiders here yet. In the new house, we have a lot of kind of smallish, middling spiders at the new house here. I haven't accumulated any gigantic, beastly spider pets. I don't know what it is. We're in a different area. You know, we moved, 70 miles away or something like that? How far did we move? Actually, I'm kind of interested. Maparoonies. We need the maps. We need the Google Maps. Googleize the maps. Let's find out. We need directions. From here? What? Oh, okay. Cool. Cha-cha, cha-cha-cha. Over to here. How many miles is it? Let's see. How many miles are we talking about here, bro? It's there's 3 different routes we could go. They're all different lengths. So it's either 75 or 95 or 78. 78. Yeah, so 70-something miles. And there's not as many giant spiders here living. Maybe it's because I don't have a basement. So the big giant spiders I had before were from the basement. So maybe that's the problem. We don't have a basement here. So maybe I should dig out a basement. Maybe I should start digging a basement and find some giant spiders. Or I got to go down to the crawl space and like capture them in a jar and then bring them out here. But yeah, who knows? That doesn't seem like a good plan. But back to the birthday party thing. It went well. I'm going to say it. It went pretty well. It was quick. It was snappy. Everyone had good time. Everyone had cake. Not cake, cupcakes. All the kids had pizza and stuff like that. And I think the reason that I brought up the spiders is that there was a sit-down video game. Because, of course, at a kid's place, there's arcade games still where you pump quarters into it, where they were shooting giant spiders. And that was the biggest hit for the kids because you could, even if they were too little to play that game, they were like, oh, my God, this is insane. We have a machine gun that shoots at giant spiders, you know. And it was kind of a thing. It was very weird. And I also realized that, like, Olivia's not very good at video games yet, because she doesn't ever play video games because we have not really allowed her to play video games. But I'm thinking the 5 or 6 or 7 mark is probably video game, trying to get her to be a gamer of some kind, right? Maybe she'll love RPGs and stuff like that. Maybe she'll want to play Dungeons and Dragons type, fantasy RPGs where you build up a character and you'll be able to karate chop things with a sword. I don't know. She's pretty obsessed with dragons right now, so that could carry on. Could carry on to crafting her own armor in a video game so that she can quest whilst riding a horse all around the countryside and attacking mythological creatures, right? That might be cool. She might think that's cool. I don't know. Spiders will be more prevalent if trees are close to the house. I cut the trees down. We cut them trees down. So, maybe not. So I think round 1 of the tree cutting video will probably come out at some point. I've had to kind of shoot some video during the day, and it's not light whenever I'm home during the week, except for Mondays, like right now. So, I'm going to make some more video content about the tree. Because I do realize, like, there's not that many people out there that actually have ever milled their own lumber, right? I don't know. That's something that just doesn't exist, really, I guess. From the understanding of talking to some people about it, and they're like, I've never done that, and I don't even know what's going on with that. Yeah. I somehow had a frog travel 100+ miles in a houseplant pot where I only noticed the day after the move. Whoa, you had like a frog that was in a pot, like a flower pot or something, and it moved. Oh, wow. Okay. That's I mean, it's like it kind of like sounds like a long distance, but the reality is like if the frog was still in the pot and you had the pot, you could have potentially taken it thousands of miles. But pretty rando to have a frog show up in your bushes like that, or in your pots. The spiders are little and have little legs. 70 miles is a perilous journey for them, bro. Did you even think of that? I assumed that the spiders were going to stay there. I didn't think that they were going to come here. I was saying that, like, we moved 75 miles away and that the environment's a little bit different here. So maybe that's the deal, or maybe it's the basement thing. Could very well be the basement thing. Who knows? Hey, keep it at 100 club. Yeah. Steven, by the way, is our first producer member on YouTube. So we'll have to hit him up and see what video he wants us to make. What video does he want us to make? Oh, I was wondering what was poking me in the back. It's my weight vest. It's my jogging weight vest. It's hanging off the back of my chair and stabbing me in the back. I was wondering what that was. Yeah. Also, houses clad in shingles. My job for a bit, chasing spiders every week. Yeah, I don't have the shingles. We don't have any of that, which is a bummer. Ladybugs come out of the shingles. Yeah. So where I grew up in Washington was almost always cedar shingle roofs, like everywhere. They don't do that anymore. That's super expensive now. Everything's some kind of composite or metal or whatever, 3-tab or everything's like that now. You just do not see shingle roofs anymore. You just don't see them. But when I was a kid, like everybody had a cedar shingle roof. Like you could go neighborhood after neighborhood and there would just be single cedar shingle roofs. It probably cost like $50,000 now or something to do that. It would probably be a crazy amount of money, and you'd be like, "Well, how long is the warranty on that?" And they'd be like 12 years. And you'd be like, "Oh, I guess I'll get the expensive 50-year one then." The Arizona Cardinals beat the Los Angeles Rams. That was the battle of the wasn't that the battle of the backups, right? Wasn't that the battle of the backup quarterbacks? I believe that was. Where's our stat line? I mean, either way, the Seahawks are still number one. Let's see here. Hold on, let's look this up. NFL Cardinals versus the Rams. The Seattle football Seahawks, I don't really want to talk about it. That's just such a bummer this yesterday. Like what a dumb game. Go all the way to Germany to do that. It was just bad. Yeah, it was Colt McCoy versus John Wolford. And I challenge anybody to know who John Wolford is. He's the backup quarterback for the Rams. Colt McCoy was a big deal 10 years ago. And now he's just a backup guy. But he got the win. Got the W. He got the win for the Cardinals, who are languishing at 4-6. I think the football this year in the NFC West is going to come down to Seahawks versus the 49ers. I think that's how that's going to go. I think that's pretty clear at this point. Where'd my chat go? I lost my chat. As usual, if I talk about football, a bunch of people will leave, which is always good because then we talk about the good stuff after they leave. My sister found a slug from 5,000 miles away in a flower pot she got at the store. She kept it in a terrarium and fed it vegetables for over a year until it eventually passed away. That is wild. Actually, it's probably good she didn't stick that outside. Could have gone out there and wreaked havoc going outside. I always seem to find gigantic spiders behind doors or where I'm most likely to jump. Oh. Why would spiders be behind doors? Why would that be going on? That's weird. Sounds like a shootout. No, Colt McCoy, you'll never get the best of me. Actually, his name does sound literally just like someone out of the Wild West. But I think his real name is Daniel. Isn't that right? Colt McCoy. Cardinals. Let's look him up. I think his real name is like Daniel or something like that. Yep, Daniel, air quote, Colt McCoy, is an American football quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. He played for Texas, the Longhorns. His senior year in college was 2009, so he has been in the NFL for quite a while as a backup, which I think realistically that's probably the best job in football is the backup quarterback guy, because you can make a pretty good mint every year being the backup quarterback, and you really don't have like a ton of pressure on you. You know what I mean? Don't have a ton of pressure on you as the backup guy, which is, Geno. We got Geno this year. Now he's a starter. The pressure is building on Geno. But that game in Germany was kind of a waste of time. I don't think our team, the Seattle Seahawks, did well with the jet lag / environment / international travel. I do not think that I don't think that they responded well to that situation. I really don't. Oh my God, we got messages. Oh, an update on the lost package that UPS, not the United States Postal Service, UPS, the brown guys, they were driving it all over the place. I don't know what they were doing. Their shipping was all broken. They didn't know what they were doing. It was lost for quite a long time. It arrived today, damaged. The box was damaged, but the contents were fine. So it actually relatively worked out, realistically. Oh, check this out. This is my buddy's car. I got to show you guys this. Where's the... Is this it? Oh, yeah. Look at this. Can I hit play? There we go. Oh, we got no sound. Is he going to hit the gas or not? Do you think he's going to hit the gas? Oh, no, he's going to walk around. Oh, he had to put the charger on it to start it. This was apparently his dad's car. Because I was asking him, like, hey, what's the deal? How do you get such a cool whip out of nowhere? And it was his dad's race car. And you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Let's remove some of this extra stuff I got going on here. Window region, let's remove that. Window region, move that. There we go. Okay. We're sort of making sense now with our buttons down here. Okay, there we go. All right, good. It's a nice car, though. He never drives it up to let me drive it, though. I guess I'd probably have to drive down there if I wanted to see if I could drive it. And it, All right, there we go. Get rid of that. And then where'd the chat go? I lost chat. I'm good at losing the chat window. Oh, there it is. The brown guys sounds racist. They're What can Brown do for you? That's their catchphrase. Like, so I don't know. Because there's the guys in the white and orange and purple trucks. And then there's the guys in the blue trucks. And then there's the United States Postal Service, which you guys know I'm a huge, huge fan of. I'm a gigantic fan. Let's see who is rejoining to membership. Pete Berlinski rejoined. Night Owl Arium rejoined. Oh, Bentley was never a YouTube member. Bentley Pasco is going to reap the YouTube membership benefits now. Yeah. Oh, Outbout rejoined. And Legion Aquatics. They're rejoining. But I think they got regifted. You know what I'm talking about. Let's see. My father had a 64 GTO. I cried when it wasn't in his garage when I went to take care of the estate. Ooh, that is wild. What, did he sell it off or something? That's crazy. And why would that happen? Alyssa. I found a gecko egg in the bottom of an orchid pot sent from Hawaii. Sadly, it didn't hatch. Actually, that kind of makes way too much sense, realistically. If you've been to Hawaii or been around like where geckos live, they are everywhere. They are everywhere, and they are dropping eggs. So I guess the travel probably made sure that that was infertile, right? That would be my guess. I think was going on there. All right. Let's bust over to... Well, nobody called in today. There's nobody calling in. Let's go over to the project page and see what people are working on. Well, we have hot sauce being crafted, handcrafted hot sauce and jarred on the project corner, which I got to admit, that has this hot sauce here has a strong orange coloring to it. And I can't tell if that's mostly bell pepper and carrot. Looks like bell pepper and carrot. But that might be orange from the habanero, and that sauce has always been too much for me. The habanero action. We used to make these giant pots of habanero sauce for like enchiladas and whatnot. And I was always surprised how often people ordered the habanero sauce and they ate it all up. They loved it. But it was just too much. It was always just too much of spicy for me. Like, I eat lots of sriracha and then like chili flake and stuff like that. But the habanero, I don't know. It kills me every time. Oh, the toilet brush thing. Painting behind the toilet. That has been a big topic over the last, well, maybe not a big topic, but just a reasonably, people were like, what? And the thing is, the bane of construction existence is like, oh, I got a call to replace the toilet. You pull the toilet, replace the toilet, and realize they never painted behind it. And Alyssa was cool enough to link us the paint behind the toilet paintbrush thing. And this seems like a made-for-TV type product, but it looks like it works. It looks like it works to just get back there and do that. I said I always just take the tank off and then paint and then put the tank back on, but this clearly cuts that out of the equation. You know what I'm saying? So that would probably save somebody a lot of trouble, I would think. And then I've been looking at this. I've been looking at these bad boys recently. Check this out. The where is it? Where's the one? There it is. Is it this one? Yeah. Here it is. I've been looking at plate compactors a lot, but I think I'm just gonna rent one. I don't think I need to be the owner of one, so I think I'm gonna rent one. These guys right here, because I'm gonna have to be doing a lot of compacting here in the future. And I was like, man, I should probably get one of those. And I was like, what's wrong with my brain? Like, why do I think, wow, I gotta get that tool forever? I could just rent it. I could just go down the street and rent it. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take my own advice and just go rent one. Yeah, I mean that's generally my plan. With the vibrator thing, what do they call this thing? The plate compactor. It's not a vibrator. Although, like, I wonder if there are. Yep, there are a lot of them on Amazon. So, hey, go through my Amazon links if you're looking for anything that does anything like that. There seem to be a lot of them. Don't look those up on YouTube. We might get banned. We might get banned. Yeah. Tanya is saying, I've been thinking about getting a snowblower. Yes, 100% get a snowblower. I gotta tell you, my mom and her husband were at, I don't know, they do stuff like they do old people stuff where they go to like estate sales and things, which is great because that's who they are. They are grandma and grandpa now. Oh, is Alyssa in the chat?
Of course I am. I'm always here.
I hear some clunking around. Okay. I accidentally searched for vibrators on Amazon. There's a lot of them, by the way.
Yes.
that was a comic. That was so comically dude of me right there. Like, I wonder if they have those on there. Like, how stupid am I? But okay. But my mom and her husband, they go to these estate sales, and they went to an estate sale, and they found a snowblower. Like, it was just there, and they got I think my mom's husband got it for like $50 or something.
Nice.
And it wouldn't start. It didn't run. So we like small engine repair. Took it all apart, greased everything up, new plugs, new hoses, new everything. Kind of put it back together, and then it worked really good. And it's still working now, like however many years later. But apparently, it's a lifesaver. Eastern Washington, which Tanya and Rebecca are in Eastern Washington, very useful over there because you guys get this like, oh, there's 2 feet of snow now, and then it's just going to be cold and clear for 19 days or something. And you're just going to have 2 feet of snow if you don't do anything about it to the areas you need to traverse, right?
Yeah, especially if it's going to be clear. That means the sun's going to hit the top layer, and if you don't get that snow blown before it turns into ice right on the top of the snow, then it just turns into a big problem, and it just gets worse and worse, and eventually you have to pick your way out, and that sucks.
Yeah. So apparently Rebecca and Tanya have got to go because the solar power is running out, which means you're going to run out of power for more important things than the internet. So understandable. Get it charged up, and then you could come back and you can replay Team 6 later when you got more power. But they gotta go because of that. So we're gonna say goodbye. We'll see you later. Alyssa, what is going on in your basement? You've sent me pictures of beams. What's going on here?
Well, I was just trying to get some more of the what would you call it? The facade off of the beams and everything in my basement. And every time I do, I find more crap.
More disastrous type nonsense.
Yeah, and it's it's rough because, like, I knew that the water was dripping there.
Yeah.
That was a big reason why we wanted to get the plumbing replaced.
Right.
Um, it's because it was dripping right there in that spot, and all I could think was, it smells here. If it smells bad, that's usually that's a good indication that it is bad. And
Yeah.
so I finally took that. Like it looks like somebody had covered it up with some like plywood,
Yeah.
just to like hide the holes behind it. So it's clearly been a problem for a long time. Um,
Well,
for yeah,
I
and
gotta
so
say, um, there's one or two things that can be done here. There's like number one, you could just shore it up, right?
mhm,
Um, which means you could just wrap the outside of it in whatever width that beam is. So like let's say if the width of the beam is like 8 inches, it's like 2x10s, right? And just go
yeah,
around it and basically just solidify the beam that way,
yeah,
for upward holding, right?
mhm,
Because the amount of strength that like even a 2x4 has in that vertical pressure, right? So like let's say you have a board, like let's say you have a 2x4 and you have it like standing on its end, right? And then you
yeah,
put like a ton of weight on top of it.
uh-huh,
It's like crazy how much the like wood can hold in that direction, right? Because that's how they
mhm,
grow. That's how they grow, and that's what they're
mhm,
growing like fighting against is that all that weight up top, right? So
yeah,
like wood works best that way. Like so you can actually just wrap that beam and make a new beam around the old beam, right? As long as you don't have like bugs in there or whatever. Pretty easy to like mitigate that and you can just wrap that beam. Or we could do something completely insane and cut a beam out of one of these logs that's in my backyard still and let it dry and replace it with something out of my backyard. Although that would be against the law because we'd have to kiln dry it, and I don't have a kiln.
mm, yeah. I so my instinct, not being any kind of contractor or anything like that, is to dig out the soft parts, um, of which it's not that deep. It's like maybe 2 millimeters in that lovely cavity there,
Uh huh.
and then spray it with like rubbing alcohol essentially, just to make sure that any kind of uh, mold is dead,
Yeah.
and then um, maybe fill the hole with an epoxy of some sort, and just to make it look nice, especially since the beam itself. And so
Huh? Uh oh. What happened? You dropped out. You got robotic. Uh oh, you're robot lady. You've turned into robot lady. Uh oh. What happened? He's probably walking around down there. Lost signal in the basement.
tell me when I'm better.
Oh, there you are.
I'm talking. Am I a robot still? Okay,
No,
good.
you're back. You.
Okay, good. One more.
Uh oh. What? What is going on? What are you doing?
I went downstairs.
Oh.
That's my problem. It was me. It's all me. It's my
Oh,
fault.
you left the optimal signal zone. Oh no, you're still crazy. You're still crazy up there too. Uh oh. Oh my god, you're.
Okay, testing.
Oh. You're all crazy.
Testing. I'll go back upstairs.
You better get out of there and come back.
2 by 4s. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, 1 second. Hold on. I traveled.
Whoa. Whoa, it's crazy. Okay.
Okay, testing.
Yeah?
Testing.
Yeah,
We're
where'd you
good?
go? Man, where did you go?
I went to the basement.
Oh my god, it was insane.
The worst is that I bought a mesh extender
Oh,
for the basement, but I probably need to restart it.
my god.
And I don't want to do that while we're talking.
Nah. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to figure out what's going on with that. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a pain in the butt. But it's okay. Nobody can see what I'm looking at down there anyways. I went to Lowe's today and I got a bunch of glass for some of the 10-gallon tanks that I've picked up recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because otherwise it takes a lot more energy to keep
Oh,
those
yeah.
tanks warm.
We need your report from the giant efficient plant auction this weekend.
Yeah, that thing was crazy.
Was it?
It was super busy. A lot of people came. People brought a lot of really good stuff. I couldn't tell you the list of everything that people brought because there was a heck of a lot of it.
Uh-huh.
But I think we being the people who volunteered, worked together pretty well and got through the auction almost seamlessly.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
only a couple of hiccups. I was doing the check-in, check-out desk with another person, and I just basically stayed there the whole time. There was like no downtime.
Oh, really? So you were working it?
Yeah, I was working it the whole time.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So the turnout was strong. So people had a lot of stuff like pent up from COVID, basically, right?
Oh yeah.
Was this the first one back?
I think we did have a big auction in April of this year, but it wasn't as well attended because I think everybody was still pretty leery. But I think that folks having like an additional booster
Mm-hmm.
and finally, going back to work or whatever they're doing so that they have a little bit of extra money, but they really miss going to fish events or that kind of thing has really made people more enthusiastic to wanting to go to these sorts of big events. And they did an interesting thing this time, which for the members, for the Greater Seattle Aquarium Society members, where if you put stuff in the auction to sell, your seller split was going to be much higher this time than usual. And so more people were willing and interested in bringing higher quality and more interesting items to the auction, which brought in more people and earned the club more money overall. So
Oh, so
go.
they sort of put the word out of like, hey, don't cheap out, go big.
Yeah, go big, bring everything you got.
So was the turnout was big for members? Was the turnout big for like buyers? Was there like a lot of people there like to fill up and buy stuff? Okay.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of people there just to buy stuff. There was a lot of people there who were not members of the club. And so they were just there to bid, There was, like everything got sold. There was very few things that it was hard to find a buyer for. Um, yeah, and
Oh.
I brought like 25 items, five of which were just a donation. It was like some guppy grass or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Um, and everything that I sold for a lot of money, in my opinion. And
Mm-hmm.
there was like one thing that I wanted in the entire auction.
Oh. What was
Yeah.
the one thing that you wanted?
I got a new species of bristlenose, or yeah, a new species of bristlenose that
Oh, so you got
one
it
of
because you posted pictures of it.
heck yeah, I did.
Oh, the
I
one
just
thing
stood
you
there
wanted,
with
you
my
got.
card up.
You
Yep,
just
I just held
went
my
after
card
it.
up.
Did you have to karate punch anybody or anything like that?
No, I just stood there like a statue, like the Statue of Liberty with my card up until the other person gave up.
Can I ask how high it went?
Yeah, it was $78.
Oh my God!
Yep,
Just for one or a pair?
for a group of six.
A group of 6.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, that's a good price then.
Yeah, it was a really good price. And
$78 sounds like a lot for one, but you got a group of 6, and that's totally fine.
right, and if you consider the fact that they are a species that tops out at like 3.5 inches,
I'm interested.
yeah,
Hey, can you
and
start breeding those so I can buy 6 of them off of you for $78?
I will try. They're smaller than they're not full size yet. But
Yeah.
yeah, they are eating readily though. They took the food right away. They didn't need any like settling in period. They were like, "Oh, food? Sweet."
Well, you know me. I'm a fan of the actual fish that actually stay small. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
It's like
actually a fan of the fish that are like legit, like the biggest you could ever get is 4 inches or something. And I'm like, oh, I shall try to make 4 inch then. Okay, we shall do that. Um,
yeah.
Probably because I think everybody's been through this scenario before where you're like, look at this little cutie. And then you get it. And then, 9 months later, you're like, it ate everything in that tank and gotta find somebody for this fish now.
Right. Now
Yeah.
its nose and its tail are touching opposite corners of the tank, and it
Yeah.
can't really, yeah.
And boy, howdy, not only is this not only is this fish probably too big for this tank, it's too hungry for this tank.
Right. Right. And it's interesting though because like if you don't know what you're looking at, it does kind of look like a juvenile common bristlenose. Um,
Oh.
but I think that as it grows, it'll
Well, I think that's like
be
one of the
interesting.
biggest selling points of the common bristlenose, or the common pleco, sorry, is that they look awesome when they're tiny.
Oh yeah, for
That's
sure.
why they sell them at all of the stores because they look rad when they're little, and you're like, dude, these guys are sweet, and then it's like
Look at
36
this
inches
awesome
later,
dinosaur fish.
yeah, and then you're like, oh, there's a monster pleco in my tank. What happened? Oh my god! Ah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Um,
My old
and I think,
neighbor in Fremont a million years ago,
mhm.
had that problem. She was like this cat lady. She was a cat lady, but she was only like 28 or something.
Okay.
Um, and she was like, "Yeah, I have a fish tank." And she like went over there, like hang out with her, and she had a giant common pleco just in this tank. I think she had like a 75 or something like that, but it was the pleco was monstrous and it was like knock over the giant castle in there and stuff, and you're like, this is not good. You should get this fish somewhere else. And it's like, I love him though. You're like, okay, all right. She was a weird person.
Yeah, it's tricky when they like I love him, but I don't love him enough to provide correctly for him.
True. Paula has a good point.
Yeah.
Baby everything is deceptively cute. That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we ended up with baby goldfish for a little while.
That's how we ended up with Olivia.
Ugh.
We didn't throw her back.
Well, I mean, I think that would be painful for Vicky.
Hold on, I have to send a picture to myself and then download it, and I can show you guys what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Download image. Oh, I gotta open original. That's how we do it. Then we go save image. Then I gotta send it to the correct folder. This one. This folder over here. You know that one. Then I can go over here, and I can go add source. Image. This one. And this is what... Oh, we're going to cut out these other people. I didn't ask these people if I could take their picture. Here, we'll cut them out. There. Now people don't know. There we go. This is what happens when you make a child, and then the child grows into a velociraptor, and it's problematic. You know what I mean? Like, it's all bitey. Look at it. It's got all these pointy, sharp teeth, angry eyes. Oh wait, we need the arrow, guys. We need the arrow. Resurrect the big yellow arrow. Oh, it's so huge. Look how big this arrow is. Okay, so here it has
missing
it has these bitey teeth right here. It has the nostrils flared for anger, rage, and then the piercing eyeballs are in full attack mode, ready to remove flesh from bone, right? Velociraptor baby. It's problematic, you know what I mean? And
Yes,
you guys are right. She is the cutest little cutie. And was this a staged picture? Yes, this was a staged picture. I told her to make her Velociraptor dinosaur face. So that's what she was doing in response to the request from her old dad, from her old dad guy. But yeah, she's a good kid, and we love her lots. So, you know, I jest and make fun of us having had Olivia, but we love having her, man. She's pretty radical.
Yeah.
She's a velociraptor, and she's so cute. So become a YouTube member today, right? Is that how that goes? Or like button. Yeah. Like button. Something. I don't know. Self-promotion.
Become a member. Occasionally get to see pictures of Olivia.
Yeah, once in a blue moon.
Every once in a while. Making
every once in a while. Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, I also ended up getting some tangerine tiger shrimps.
Oh, tangerine tigers? Those are pretty cool shrimp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're cool and orange, and I was like, I should buy something else because the club owes me a lot of money from my split. So.
Oh. Well, I don't think we should ask, but is it a big number?
Yeah.
Mucho dinero.
See.
$38,000.
No, not quite that much.
Not that high. Okay, I was intentionally going way high.
Yeah.
But if you did good, you did good, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. Yeah.
Decent. All the more reason why like average people should be getting involved in their local fish club.
Heck yeah.
If you can handle the drama, which I can't. But I think most normal
amount of drama.
I think most normal people can handle it. Not me though.
Yeah. I think the biggest drama that there was at least that I knew of, because I was mostly stuck behind a desk the whole time, was that this couple brought their like giant fluffy dog, and I desperately wanted to go and pet the fluffy dog, but I was stuck behind a desk,
Mm-hmm.
and that was pretty dramatic.
That is very dramatic.
I was like, dang it. Eventually I got out from behind the desk, and then I got to pet the fluffy dog. He was a 160-pound Malamute. And
Really?
he was 100% good boy. And I love big fluffy dogs, so it worked out really well for me.
So, how big? 160 pounds?
Yeah, it was a big boy.
That is a huge dog. Was it a good boy, though?
Yeah, he was a big, good boy.
Ah.
And he was like, oh, people are gonna pet me. This is amazing. Best day ever. Yeah. It was his favorite day, apparently.
Alyssa, I got a quick question for you.
Sure, what's up?
Why do I keep forgetting to hook the Wi-Fi up to my computer? Why?
Wait, how is it getting internet?
I put a hard line into it. I got wires. I got wires, bro.
Well, then why would you even bother to put the Wi-Fi up?
I think that's why I haven't bothered to hook it up. But I should do it someday. I feel like I should do it. I don't know, out of the blue. I leaned over there, and I saw that the Wi-Fi thing is still unoccupied. And I feel like I should just...
the information fight?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. It's been forever since I did any kind of networking garbage.
I think it'll be fine. I should hook it up and just see how it goes.
Yeah.
We'll just see how it goes, man.
Yeah. And if it fights or causes a problem, then we know.
Right. What am I getting emails about? This is crazy. Oh, okay. There's a Black Friday deals are already being advertised.
Oh, yeah, that's been going on since
last year.
Late October.
Like last year. They're like, hey, you got to get it. It's Black Friday. Right. It's a deal. We marked it up and then we marked it back down. It's a deal. That's actually one of the weirdest things. Like if you, it's one of the weirdest things that like if you're tracking something because like it's something that you're saving money for and you're trying to, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize that like they marked up the price leading up to Black Friday and then they marked it off, and you're like, I see what you're doing. You guys are scamming, bro. This isn't a sale. It's the same price as it was.
Yeah, we Justin and I encountered that for the what is it? The Prime Days? Prime Day?
The what?
Thing? Amazon Prime Day.
Oh, the Prime Day. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I thought you said the crying game, and I was like, I'm trying to
that's
remember that
movie.
movie. That movie was a long time ago, and I remember there was weird stuff going on in there, but yeah.
Yeah, that is an old movie, but it was like, you keep watching the prices on things, and you'd be like, I kind of want that, but do I want it for that price? I don't know. Prime Day is coming up in like maybe a month or so, or 2 months, and we'll see. And then you won't, it'll be Prime Day, and you'll be like, wasn't it the same price that it was? And then after Prime Day, it's like, it's still the same price. What a bunch of malarkey. Just buy stuff when you're ready, I guess. Shoot. Why wait?
Yeah, the Prime Day thing is just weird, dude. It's like I don't know that thing. Like it comes up, and you're just like, okay, all right, Prime Day. I guess it's like a big sale or something, And then when it comes up, it's like, hey, here's all these products we thought you might want to buy or something. Like here you go, it's on sale, And you're like, but I don't want any of this stuff, and this all legit looks like stuff that you've just had in your warehouse for 12 months or something, and you were unable to sell it. So here
Right.
we are.
Yep. Like, here's some garbage. And you
Is it
also have to read, like, the reviews because the reviews are skewed and stuff.
Oh, dude, like I don't even think there's trustworthy reviews anywhere anymore,
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard to say if there are actual trustworthy reviews on any item out there now, with like how
Cons-
easy it is to like generate a text-based review by just putting in like in a random word generator or whatever. Like I'm sure that 50% of reviews now are all fake.
mm-hmm.
Probably even worse than that. And that's like wild. Sometimes you'll go onto a website and be like, "Oh, this item has had 28,000 reviews," and you're like, "How is that even possible?" Like, you got 28,000 people to respond and write out a review about this item.
Right.
Like, it's even questionable if you actually even sold 28,000 of these items of this item, right? I don't know.
Well,
It's just weird to me.
considering back when I was running a business and um, was on Yelp,
Uh-huh.
I would get probably 6 emails or calls or contacts per day of people promising to generate more reviews for my company. And I was like, how on earth would you do that? You're not using my services.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't I don't think that's gonna work out for me in my favor. And that's
Yeah,
just gonna make me a sad girl.
Yeah, it's super weird when you have like you start getting reviews for a business that you're involved with, and it's like this person hasn't ever even bought this. What is this? Where's this coming from?
Right.
Yeah, it's like, are you a verified purchaser or whatever? Yeah.
It's the state of business today, I guess. I don't
What are you
know.
doing?
He said, "What am I up to?" I said, "No good."
I texted you,
I know.
and you came busting in here
Sorry.
like a weirdo.
Is that Vicky? Hi, Vicky.
Yeah, Vicky's here.
I'm a totes.
Hi, Vicky.
Hey, how are ya?
How are you? I'm good.
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, you know.
She's looming. Do you want a
Lumen.
microphone? Are you saying hi?
Hello.
Hi.
I didn't know if you wanted me in here or not.
I don't know. I was just seeing what you were up to.
I'm updating Olivia's Amazon gift idea list for Christmas. I thought other people might want to know what's on her Christmas list for the year.
Oh. Christmas?
Christmas.
She wants dinosaurs, guys.
Dragon.
Oh, dragons. Sorry.
Dragons. Yes.
Dragons, huh?
Yes. She seems to be partial to Jellycat stuffed animals, if you're familiar with Jellycat.
No.
You should check them out. They're super cute.
Okay.
Yeah. And super
I'm like,
soft.
I know dragons. I don't know Jellycat.
Yes. What? Oh, I'm supposed to be talking into the microphone.
Yeah, you got to talk into the microphone.
Sorry.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's more than just you and me talking.
So
now.
that like while you're banging around in the background, like doing whatever it is you're doing back there.
Yeah.
She just takes pots and pans and smashes them together when she gets bored.
It's mostly
that's
just
how
while
you make
he's
music.
live streaming.
Yeah. So that they can't hear it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Look, they have a pink Jellycat dragon. That's the one. She would love that. Pink.
Everything has to be pink.
What
Any
if
other
it's
color
purple?
does not exist, apparently.
Everything has to be pink. Always.
Okay. Good to know.
Our daughter is a little princess, and everything has to be pink. She just loves it. I don't know.
I never liked the color pink when I was a kid.
You know, Vicky was, she was super impressed by me supporting women's lib earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
Always.
I did a good job.
What'd you do?
You're such a dork.
We were at the we had to run to the co-op store because Vicky wanted some chicken stuff for our chickens, and
Okay.
we bought a bucket because like you can buy mealworms in bulk there if you have their bucket, their approved bucket. Got to be approved, and if you're familiar with the bucket, it comes with the little extra ring on the lid. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta pull it. You gotta pull the tab and rip the ring off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there was three gals behind the counter that were struggling with getting that ring off the bucket lid. And as a man, you would think like, hey, let me step in here and help you ladies out. And I just said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to allow them to make their own way with it. There were scissors involved. There was a lot happening.
Yeah.
It took a while.
Scissors and...
It took a while, but I was very patient and was just not stepping in to tell them how to do nothing. And
Well,
Vicky was really impressed by how modern I am.
So modern,
If you let
babe.
them
That's
do
a
it
modern
once,
man.
they're gonna know how to do it better the next time.
Yeah, they'll get better. They shall improve.
Mm-hmm.
I think it really boils down to a grip strength thing more than anything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like, I don't know, some of those bucket ring things get sharp where they tear. So like, I wouldn't want to be like bare hand grabbing on that plastic piece and like yarding on it.
Yeah, you don't want to be yarding on it.
Just cut your hand open.
That's right.
I think
can
you're
slice
saying that they need a pliers.
Yeah. I'm super good at cutting my hands.
I could use some pliers. Yeah, you cut your thumb off. How's that doing?
It's all good.
But I cut my thumb off too, so.
It's weirdly
You guys
sensitive
match?
when it gets cold.
Mm-hmm.
Splitting the nerve endings does that, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. I know.
Yeah, at least I didn't use a chop saw.
You should next time use a chainsaw.
No,
No.
thank you.
You'd be a cool kid.
Ugh, no
You
thanks.
come up to the cool kid club
No, but I did get a really cool.
with your mutilated hamburger fingers.
I got a new mandolin slicer that doesn't allow me to cut my fingers.
There's a safety one.
Yes,
Yeah.
safety first. All right.
I know some people that would give you a hard time about your safety mandolin.
Yes.
Some,
all right.
I know some people.
I'm not a chef. I just play one on TV.
All right. Good luck.
Okay.
Hey, we got to
Bye,
do that
Vicky.
RV plug. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Here for it.
RV plug. I got to run power out there because Vicky's surgery is coming. So I got to put RV power outside for the visitors to come help park their RV and plug it in. You know what I mean?
It's nice that you guys have essentially a guest house.
Oh, the RV?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to bring another one.
Yeah, okay.
My
got
my
parking
mom
for
and her
more.
husband. My mom and her husband basically. So they own a big house in Wenatchee, but they basically live in their RV because they're always off working on projects like away from Wenatchee. So they're gonna bring their trailer up here.
Cool.
But it's nice for them to be able to plug in their RV. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, my leg. My leg got stuck under the desk again, dude. I'm telling you.
I think it's some spiders they've caught up, and you just don't see them, but they're weaving sticky webs under your desk, just to trick you.
Huawei's asking, am I going to shave my head in solidarity? I would if that was a thing. As far as I know, like Vicky's not going to be going through radiation, so her hair's not all going to fall out because of that. So basically, like, like breast cancer, there's multiple like treatment methods, right? One of them is radiation, one of them is lumpectomy, one of them is mastectomy, blah blah blah. Mastectomy doesn't require radiation because you're going to remove everything that's a problem.
Yeah.
And then you go through the process of like getting tested via your lymph nodes to find out like if it's gone farther after time, and then you might end up doing radiation later. But Vicky's not going to be doing radiation, so she's not going to have all of her hair fall out. So, yeah, should be okay. Although maybe all of her hair will fall out because of the hormone treatment. That might happen. So if that does, then I guess, sure.
Your hair can also fall out just because you went through a traumatic surgery.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah. You could end up with a big white patch in your hair.
You could, yeah.
Like Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could happen.
That'd be cool. Man, if I got a big white patch in my hair, like if I it suddenly appeared, I'd be like, hey, stylist lady that dyes my hair, make sure not to dye that part.
Like leave the big white patch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be cool. And she'd be like, sweet, okay.
Like, word, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's cool. I like her.
All right. Well, man, we got 12 new members gifted today. Look at that.
That's cool. It makes
that
up
a
for
record?
what was it, 7 that dropped?
Well, we went down by 7. Yeah. And so then we got 12 new gifted subs. So look at that. Or gifted memberships. So we got that going for us.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I don't know. Huawei's saying by the end of this, I want to see Joel in a mohawk. But, like, I had a mohawk for years. So you can just go look at those old videos if you want.
Right. That's like, oh, I want to see Alyssa in dreads. And I'd be like, I did dreads for 5 years, man. I'm tired of it.
Yeah. You know, the big issue is that, like, you know, I would go back to, like, wearing a mohawk. I mean, the problem is that, like, there's maintenance that goes into it. So you still have to go get a haircut anyhow.
Right.
And then, like, I don't know if anybody's ever noticed this, but, like, I have resting bitch face. So, like, wherever I go, people think I'm mad or I'm pissed off or something. And if I have a mohawk, it's even worse, right? So,
yeah,
like,
it's just going to make you even more approachable.
right. It makes me even...
But only from the wrong people.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things that, like, there's not a big, gigantic advantage to, like, there's not, like, a giant advantage to, like, having a mohawk. It's like, it's not helping anything. You know what I mean? It's, like, literally just, it's either impeding... It's either, like, impeding business, basically, right? Like, so in professional settings or whatever. It's like I have to interact with more people that are like being judgmental because they just are, like, they're just a mess and they can't like wrap their mind around like someone having a hairstyle. I don't know why, but they can't. And then on top of it, like, I still have to get a haircut.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just like, there's not like a huge advantage. I don't know. And the problem with having a mohawk is that, like, you don't want to pay to get a haircut, right? So then I got to get Vicky to cut my hair for me, and she doesn't want to do it because she's afraid she's going to mess it up. I'm going to get hair all over the place or whatever. So then you end up going to the barber. And it's like, if you're going to the barber and you get your hair cut into a mohawk real quick, you still have to pay the same price as a haircut, right? So you might as well just get a haircut while you're there. I don't know.
Wouldn't you just like, because right now what you've got is like, what do they call it? Like a high and tighter or something like that. It's like it's long on the top and shaved on the sides. Um, wouldn't you just like not shave the back of your head too
What do you mean?
to make it into a mohawk? Like it'd be almost the same exact haircut, just like extended down to the nape of your neck.
Right.
It doesn't even have to be a big mohawk. It could be like one of them 4 inchers, and then you can just get some gel and then scoop it up whenever you want to do that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just there's just not like a whole lot of advantages.
You don't have to look like you stepped out of a 1980s revivalist punk show.
I mean, I kind of do, but like also at the same time, like I just like whatever, man. Like I don't know. It's just more trouble than it's worth. I mean, realistically, when you boil down to, I am somebody that has decades of experience of having a mohawk or crazy hair that, like, I end up having all these stupid conversations with people at like grocery stores or the hardware store or what, like, and it's like, oh great, I'm interacting with some idiot now who's like gonna pee their pants or something because I have a haircut a certain way, right? Like, so I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just weird.
The weird thing is, for me, it's like if I was gonna do the mohawk thing, I would probably not do like a sticky up mohawk, but I would get it and then I would French braid down the middle.
Right.
I would just do the braids.
Yeah,
and have it shaved on the sides.
There was a lot of times I would do the braid myself, but I can't do it on my own head. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So I'd have to like have somebody else do it, which then creates the situation where like I got to get somebody else involved. Right? Like,
you got to teach Olivia how to French braid. And
yeah, I mean, I am sure in 5 or 10 years or something she'll be able to do it pretty well, but that's a long time to be waiting, Who's here? Oh, snap, my cousin's here. Okay, we'll call it for today then.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, bro, my cousin's here, so I got to kick it and get out of here.
Yeah, for sure.
We got to hang out soon. I'm really trying to figure out how to do that at this point. We're going to figure it out soon.
I have a car, although I did just apply for a job today, so we'll see what kind of, if they even want to hire me.
Oh man, you'll have to let me know what's up with that.
I will.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, later.
Later.
Hey, all you internet people, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the membership button. Become a producer member. Tell me what to do. You could be like Skog Shrimp and stuff in the chat, who's a producer, tells me what to make. And you could do that too. You could be that. You could be that person. Or not. You don't have to. Do whatever you like. You could even gift memberships to other people, but if you want to get gifted a membership, you have to turn that on. We learned that again today. We remember that. We love you all. I hope you stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you later. Oh, bye-bye.